Okay, so manifestation. It's everywhere you look these days, right?
Right.
Well, today we're diving into something a lot of you have been asking us about.
Yeah, this one's been popular.
A technique that claims to manifest anything you want,
Anything.
anything, in just 19 minutes.
Okay, so like 19 minutes a day or 19 minutes one time, and that's it.
So we found this YouTube video, and apparently it's 19 minutes every single day.
Every day.
Every day.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and it sounds a little out there, but that's why we're here, right?
That's why we dive deep.
Yeah.
To figure out what's really going on.
Exactly. So this video claims that by focusing your intentions really, really clearly, visualizing what you want, and truly believing in it.
Believing you already have it or believing that it's possible?
Or both. Believing you already have it and that it's possible. For 19 minutes a day, you can attract anything you desire.
So like winning the lottery. I can manifest that.
That's what they say. Or, the classic, manifesting your dream partner.
Right. The one with the dimples and the great sense of humor.
And the yacht. Don't forget the yacht.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can't forget the yacht. But how? How do they say this works?
Well, it's about more than just thinking about it. The video really stresses the importance of really immersing yourself in the feeling.
Like really feeling it.
Yeah, so if you're visualizing that beach house in Bali,
which I may or may not be doing right now.
It's not just about picturing the ocean view. You need to feel the sand between your toes, taste that mango smoothie.
Okay, now I'm definitely visualizing.
You get the idea. You have to make it real in your mind.
So it's like tricking your brain into thinking you're already living the dream.
That's one way to put it. But it goes beyond just thinking and feeling. The video emphasizes aligning your actions with those desires, too.
Oh, so you can't just sit around in your PJs all day thinking about winning the lottery.
Well, they don't exactly say that. But the idea is if you want something like, let's say, a promotion at work.
Okay.
You don't just daydream about it. You start acting like you already have it.
So like coming in early, crushing those deadlines, maybe investing in a fancy new briefcase.
Exactly. You're embodying the identity of someone who already has that promotion.
Interesting. So it's like fake it till you make it, but with a more, I don't know, spiritual twist.
Kind of. And look, we're not saying this is going to magically make all your dreams come true, but there's definitely some interesting psychology behind it.
Right. Like our thoughts and actions absolutely can influence our reality.
Exactly. And there's one more thing they emphasize in the video. Gratitude.
Oh, yeah. Gratitude's huge these days.
But they take it a step further. They say you need to feel grateful not just for what you have now, but also for the things you're manifesting, as if you've already achieved them.
So I'm grateful for my beach house in Bali, even though it only exists in my mind right now.
Exactly. They argue that this gratitude amplifies your intention, like it's sending a supercharged signal to the universe.
Okay, but like, what does that even mean? A signal to the universe.
That's what we're going to unpack. Because the whole idea is that this process, the visualizing, the feeling, the acting, the gratitude.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. They claim it aligns everything, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions with your desires. And when that happens, it supposedly attracts those desires into your reality.
So like a magnet for your dreams.
Basically. But, we're approaching this with a healthy dose of skepticism.
As always.
Yeah.
Because while it's a very compelling narrative,
For sure.
we also have to look at the science, or lack thereof, behind it.
Exactly. And that's what we'll dive into next. So we've talked about the 19-minute manifestation technique.
19 minutes to anything you want.
Right. But we want to know, why is this so appealing? What is it about this idea that really grabs people?
Well, think about it. We live in a world of instant gratification.
Right. Everything's fast, fast, fast.
Exactly. We want things and we want them now. So the idea that you could manifest anything you want in a matter of minutes.
It's tempting.
It's very tempting. And I think it also taps into this human need for control. Life can feel really unpredictable.
Oh, absolutely.
So this idea that we can actually exert some control over our circumstances.
That we can create our own reality.
Yeah, it's empowering. So even if there's no scientific evidence to back it up, I can see why people are drawn to it.
For sure. But the video does bring up some pretty interesting psychological concepts.
Yeah, like what?
Well, they talk about the mind-body connection, which, we've heard a lot about, but they really emphasize it.
Okay, so what's their take on it?
Well, they're basically saying that our thoughts and emotions can actually manifest physically.
Right, which there's actually a whole field of study dedicated to that.
There is.
Yeah, it's called psychoneuroimmunology.
Say that again?
Psychoneuroimmunology, it's a mouthful. But basically, it's the study of how our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, how those actually impact our physical health.
Wow. So, like, if you're constantly stressed,
Could manifest as headaches or digestive issues.
so it really is all connected.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that you can just think your way to perfect health,
Yeah.
but it does highlight how important our mental and emotional well-being is.
Absolutely. Now, another thing they touch on is the subconscious mind, which always kind of freaks me out a little.
The subconscious.
Yeah, like how much of our lives are actually controlled by these subconscious thoughts and beliefs that we don't even realize we have?
It's kind of like an iceberg, right?
Oh, that's a good analogy.
The conscious mind, the thoughts we're aware of, that's just the tip.
Hmm.
The subconscious, that's the massive part hitting beneath the surface. And it's running the show.
So how do we even know what's lurking down there in our subconscious?
Well, it takes some digging. Often our subconscious beliefs are formed in childhood.
From our parents or teachers, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So let's say you grew up hearing your parents constantly worry about money.
Okay.
You might internalize that.
Mm-hmm.
And you might develop this subconscious belief that money is scarce, that it's hard to come by.
Even if you consciously want to be financially abundant?
Right. And then you might find yourself sabotaging opportunities. You might overspend. You might stay stuck in a dead-end job.
Because deep down, you don't believe you deserve financial security.
Exactly.
Wow, that's kind of scary when you think about it, but also fascinating.
It is. And it highlights why techniques like this 19-minute manifestation can be appealing.
Yeah.
Because they offer this promise of tapping into that subconscious and rewiring those beliefs.
So we've talked about the mind-body connection, the subconscious. What else? Oh, gratitude. That's a big one in this video.
Gratitude,
Oh.
right. They're not just saying be thankful for what you have, though.
No, they're saying be grateful for the things you're manifesting as if you already have them.
So I'm walking around being thankful for my beach house in Bali, even though I'm sitting here in my apartment.
Exactly.
Interesting. Well, I have to admit, I do love a good gratitude practice.
Me too. And there's actually a lot of research on the benefits of gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
Well, studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly tend to be happier, they're more optimistic, they're more resilient.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment. It's actually impacting our overall well-being.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground here, the mind-body connection, the subconscious, gratitude. But there's one thing we haven't really touched on yet,
And that is?
the science, or maybe the lack thereof.
Right. Because while this 19-minute manifestation technique is intriguing, we have to acknowledge that there's not a lot of hard evidence to support it.
Yeah, when it comes to manifesting a specific outcome, like winning the lottery
Or
or...
manifesting that beachfront property?
Exactly. Just thinking about it for 19 minutes a day, probably not going to cut it.
Probably not. Now look, our thoughts and beliefs are powerful.
Oh, for sure.
They absolutely can influence our reality. But it's not quite as simple as this video makes it seem.
It's not magic.
It's not magic. And I think it's important to be realistic about that. Because if we set these really high expectations, like I'm going to manifest my dream job in 19 minutes a day.
And then it doesn't happen.
Right. We might end up feeling discouraged, like we've failed.
Or even worse, we might give up on our goals altogether.
Exactly. Because we start thinking, well, this manifestation thing doesn't work, so why bother?
Right. And it's important to remember that action is still crucial.
Absolutely.
Right.
We can't just sit around visualizing our dream life. We have to actually take steps to make it happen.
So it's about finding that balance, right?
Yes. It's about combining intention with action.
So where does that leave us with this 19-minute manifestation technique? Should we just toss it out with the bathwater?
Well, not necessarily. I think there's a way to reframe it. Instead of viewing those 19 minutes as a guaranteed path to getting everything we want.
Which is probably not.
Right. What if we see it as dedicated time for personal growth?
Okay, I like that.
So instead of just wishing and hoping, we use those 19 minutes to get clear on our goals, to visualize our ideal future.
To actually make a plan.
Exactly. We can break those big goals down into smaller, actionable steps.
And then actually take those steps.
Yes, action is key.
Yeah.
But having that dedicated time to focus on our goals, to visualize success, to cultivate gratitude,
It can be really powerful.
it can. And even if nothing else, taking 19 minutes out of our day to just pause, to breathe,
To reflect.
to be present.
Yes. In our crazy, busy world, that in itself is a gift.
It really is. Well, this has been another fascinating deep dive.
It has.
We started with manifesting our dream lives in 19 minutes.
Which, let's be honest, sounded a little too good to be true.
It did, but we explored some really interesting concepts along the way.
The power of our thoughts, the importance of gratitude, the mysterious subconscious.
And ultimately, the importance of taking action.
It's a good reminder that real change, lasting fulfillment, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes effort. It takes commitment. But it's so worth it. And hey, if dedicating 19 minutes a day to our goals helps us stay focused and motivated.
I'm all for it.
Me too. Thanks for diving deep with us, everyone. Until next time.